Hello everyone, welcome back to the last episode of the series, Mental Health Awakening, which we're going to be calling Mental Health Awakening Confidential, which basically what me and Angela will be doing today is kind of going through the series, picking up bits of it, seeing what we thought, how it went. So Angela, hello.
Hello. You all know me, Angela Jackson. I'm glad to be a part of this confidential. That means that we have made it through the series and it has been a success.
Yeah, because it worked quite well, didn't it? Because we only did the when we're recording this, it goes quite well because only yesterday we did the like reunion, like the final showdown, when we had a couple of people come back.
Yeah, final showdown.
Yeah. So what was your well, did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the guest. I enjoyed the variety, the diversity, and even if certain guests had certain similar topics, they all had a different perspective that was presented and definitely benefited the series and the setup. So it was awesome.
Yeah. It was quite good, wasn't it? Like, because you had a different person. Well, we didn't do it all in one go. We kind of split it off, didn't we? So I think end of March time we did some, didn't we? And then most of them were in April.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness, the planning ahead and figuring out the timing and who was available. And I think everyone was excited that they made the cut, so to speak.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a screening process and topics that we may have been interested in, certain people who maybe were in the profession, certain people who had personal stories, other people who maybe focused on specific areas that connected with mental health. So we had quite as I said before, quite a variety of people, and also that contributed to the way that they were chosen to participate. So
Yeah, because we kind of split it, like we probably half, wasn't it? Like I chose half and then you chose half and then it kind of worked like that.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, like I suppose it wasn't that hard choosing the guests, was it? Anyway, and maybe a little bit.
Well, well, we had a little bit of a transition there. Excuse me. It wasn't as hard because initially we were planning for a conference that was supposed to take place that had to be postponed. So a handful of the guests were also participants that were preparing presentations and topics already. So it was good to make that collaboration. They were already ready, prepared to say yes. So a part of it was not as difficult. Others, oh wow, we went through a process trying to branch out and invite some people that we had people on the list that we were not able to connect with. So this was
Yeah.
an experience.
To anyone listening, the conference was mentioned in I think a few episodes where, but unfortunately that didn't happen because it had to get cancelled. So hopefully could be another time. But
Absolutely, we are still planning, still working toward a postponement date, but the way the conference was set up, it was hybrid, half virtual, half on site, half face to face. And so one of the venues that was a big part of it had some maintenance that would not be complete by the date of the conference. So that's why we needed to cancel. And it will be postponed. I will be notifying, making the postponement date public. So
yeah. So yeah, that's well, at least there you got we had this series for this month then.
Mhm. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, because originally there wasn't going to be an episode on that Friday where I was personally taking part because I was going to do that for the conference, but and then we found an extra guest to take that place.
Yes.
So yeah, we had that. We also had we had an IBD episode for World IBD Day because World IBD Day is in Mental Health Awareness Month,
Mhm.
and it is Crohn's and colitis awareness month too.
Yes, yes.
So it all fits in well because we had people with Crohn's as well, chronic illnesses. Yeah, like you say, like people actually work with mental health too. So that's all pretty cool.
Yes, yes. We had a couple of motivational speakers that just, they move forward in inspiring and capturing an audience. If I start naming,
Mhm. Yeah, there was
uh,
certain one day we could listen to all day.
yes, yes, we'll go ahead and call her out. Shay Knight speaks. She's a motivational speaker. Um,
You see why?
yes, you know why the moment she opens her mouth. Melanie Paxton, she was one of our motivational speakers. She
Mm.
shared quite a bit that, her motivation was birthed out of her own story. So that is a great one to
Yeah,
listen in on. I'm excited for all of them to broadcast and air.
yeah, yeah. And we had we started with not in a certain order because we discovered that yesterday. That people were saying that the episode were out on a certain date when it got moved, and suppose we didn't tell them that it did get moved.
Right.
um, so yeah, like it's good that certain people was like that last episode for the guests yesterday. But like we had Dr. Dangerfield, Kieran Pierce, Connell, Chloe, the dancing trucker,
Mhm.
who else?
Danish.
Yeah, Darnish, yeah. um, who else do we have? Shane Knight speaks.
Mhm.
Who else?
Did you say Kimberly already? We
Oh
had
yeah,
Sherry.
no, yeah, we had Kimberly, we had Will as well.
Well, Sherry Weekly, she was a financial consultant, and I thought that was very interesting and necessary for this series because a lot of people do not include financial counselors for mental health. But think about it, money is a huge stressor. Finances and bills and work, that kind of thing stresses people out. So it's
Mm,
very befitting that this was a part of the series. So it was great to have that twist in there.
yeah, that was pretty cool. That was about money.
Hmm.
Um, we had all sort of different talks, anyway.
Yeah. And flow.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Flow.
Fly,
Mhm. Yeah.
Fly. Yeah, that was a good one about like having our own gym business.
Yeah.
That's that was pretty cool. We was talking about doing on some line things, but yeah, in our episode. So yeah, every episode was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We even had one where there was another licensed professional counselor. She has a mental health service provider designation, Demetria, and we all started talking about certain current events.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So
That was funny. That was.
yeah, so that brought in the discussion about Will Smith and Chris Rock a little bit. So
Yeah.
we had a little fun with that.
But since that episode, there's been more events, hasn't there?
Absolutely.
um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, like all stuff going on, um, all the time for the events part. Um, but yeah, that was a good one. We had teenage mental health as well. We
Yes,
spoke about not hiding. Well, about men's emotions too.
that's right. Men's emotions. That's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
That
we had.
that's necessary. That oh goodness. Next month, I want to say it's Men's Health Month or either Men's Mental Health Month. That would be a good one. Maybe a good replay to address men's emotion regulation and expression overall.
Oh, I didn't know it was. I'm lost of all these awareness months.
Yes.
I know a fair few. Um, well, the ones, yeah, everyone will know a fair few. They won't know every single one. Like, I'm told there's one in August about mental health too. I think so. I didn't know that. um, but yeah, it's good that you that I think this series went well. Um, and we said, wasn't it in February time we talked about it in the first place? I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was in February, so few months ago. Um, so behind everyone's scenes, behind the scenes, we speak about then. And then we decided to do it in March. So we did what we did was we did a call, didn't we, with not everyone, but some of the people who's going to be involved. And then we're just talking a little bit about it, and
Mm-hmm.
then we said to most of them March or April what month they prefer to have the episode and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
some episodes were longer than others.
Yeah. Yeah. And that worked out great because the majority of them or all of them really had the opportunity to choose their own topics, their own interests and what they wanted to present. So depending on either the material they had prepared or depending on the things that just kind of came up in conversation, that played into how long the episode was.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like they had their own topic, didn't they?
Yeah.
And some people wrote their own description as well, of themselves. Not everyone, but some people did.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, some people had long descriptions as well.
Yes.
Yeah, which was very good, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but but yeah, we had like we said before. Once we all had that, we done all the recordings. We put them order, did a list. No particular choice, just change the order a little bit. Didn't we?
Yeah. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, did you follow the dancing trucker before he came to the series?
When you mentioned him beforehand, I did follow him and stuff too, because I didn't know who he was. Um, yeah, I did, and then yeah, followed him and everything, because to arrange it and to send invitations for it as well, so I kind of had to.
Get to know who he was. Yes, he's the John Drury, the dancing trucker. He dances for smiles, dances on street corners, has been featured in different places as far as media, and he is a mental health advocate. So that was a good fit, definitely.
Yeah, he was I think one of the last ones to like guest ones to get released as well. Like before the final showdown, we put him last because we thought he'd be a good last one to have because he got a lot of followers. Yeah, like make people wait. Um, but yeah, it's good that everyone's from different places as well. Not everyone's in the same place. Like we had some people from the UK who I knew. Um, and yeah, it was quite funny in yesterday's episode about the final showdown where
Yeah,
me and one other had were from the UK. The rest weren't.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I that makes me think of my introduction. I said maybe I don't know if they're tired of it, but I kind of had a routine introduction on that about being from the USA, partnering with the UK.
Yeah, yeah, we did.
So,
UK US connections. I don't know if we had anyone else from any other countries. I think it was just UK and America, I think.
yeah, yeah, UK and America. I think I had someone, I had a potential that I wanted to invite from Australia, and I think you did too. We had two
Oh yeah.
people.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, we did have someone from Australia, but has chronic illness, but he couldn't because he wasn't doing very well, and I think he did I might be wrong. He either had COVID and he was recovering, or he was just really bad with his chronic illness. But
Yeah,
he
yeah,
wanted to reach out at a later date. But yeah, we had other people from different countries, and
yeah.
like we could have done. But I think we had quite a lot of guests, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Yes, we did. I wanted to invite Mike Carroll from MC Counseling. He's also a mental health counselor. He's a great guy to follow. I did invite him. I believe he may have responded, but of course we got disconnected when my IG was hacked.
yeah,
So, but he's definitely a great guy. If you don't follow him, um, he might be a fit in the future.
yeah. I think you might. Um, I maybe could even get him on a separate episode, maybe.
Mhm. Yes.
um,
Yep. And we did branch out, remember, thinking about Darman and Jay Shetty.
yeah, yeah. We tried to get some other motivational speakers, but
That's right.
they were hard to get.
Yep.
Um,
I
mm,
did get a good reply from Jay Shetty's team. He was just overbooked. A lot of people uh, are booked in advance for mental health for May, for Mental Health Awareness Month, especially if they're in the helping field, if they're a coach, if they're a
yeah,
speaker. They kind of schedule in advance, so we know who to
yeah.
reach out to.
I think maybe if we do it again, we'll have to probably a few months in advance. Maybe email him.
Hmm.
Um, Possibly even at the end of this year. Going into next year, because if you that's a good time length, I think, to someone like JJ,
Hmm. Hmm.
because he's a popular man.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
So
yeah,
between me and you, we have very different schedules.
yeah,
So it was sometimes a task to coordinate. So I can imagine someone on that scale who's more public, more of an influencer, like Jay Shetty, for example. They probably schedule quarters in advance. So that's a great idea to kind of reach out uh, first quarter, second quarter of the year, and plan for the next year.
yeah, yeah. Like I think if they were saying that, like in your reply, that they probably would have done it, but he couldn't
Yeah,
because he's too in advance, which makes sense. Like so yeah. So would you think it should be do it again next year?
I think we should. I think we should. Just based off of the involvement, based off of the overall contributions, the excitement. I think we should. And I also want to. I'm so ready to see the feedback
Hmm.
from the people who actually listen and view the series. So that will help contribute to how we plan for the next time.
Yeah, yeah, and we did get a logo as well, like a logo made, but it was quite late. It got made, so it's a wonderful logo though. But we will maybe not. Will be used uh very much more probably for the next time, because it's always going to be there. But yeah, like maybe we should like just thinking ahead, like for maybe the next time, Mental Health Awakening, we do it. Maybe we invite everyone back from the series we just done, maybe the first episode,
Mhm.
so they can start off, and then we can get a new people maybe,
Mhm.
or some new people. Maybe some people want to come back, um, but yeah, I think that's a good way to start it.
Yeah, yeah. So you asked all of us lots of questions during the confidential about what interested us in participating. So now I want to ask you, what prompted you to launch this series?
I think because on the podcast as a whole, um, from the start of this year really, I decided I'm doing these kind of mini series for these different parts of the year that are part of the podcast, because we're on the logo now, having mental health is pretty cool. And I thought, like, we did the autism series in April. So that was a new thing. I kind of thought of that really late into March. So I was pretty well, mid-March or something. So I was pretty lucky how many episodes were actually launched for the autism series. So that was the first kind of one. Um, and what I do is, between like a series like autism finishing, I'll continue with the main series and stuff like that. But I thought about, like, because what I do, I have like Christmas special, like seasonal specials of the year now. Um, I had an Easter one, had a spring one, and I thought, why not? And I'm gonna have summer ones as well. So having these different like mini series through just a whole month is, I thought it was a pretty good idea, and I've never done it before. So this year was the first doing
Okay.
that, and then thinking about mental health, thinking about you have Crohn's too, and you do your job with mental health. I thought it's a good idea, but at this point, I didn't know what the name was going to be called. um, like for the autism series, I just called it Autism Awareness Month series. I didn't give it a particular name. Um, but for this one was a bit different, because Mental Health Awakening was a good name. Um, I don't know, like, do you think next time we should just keep it the same name, or Mental Health Awakening 2? I don't know. What do you think?
I like the Mental Health Awakening as the series label. It might be the reboot. It might be, who knows?
Yeah,
you know, it's awesome because a lot of the participants had the opportunity to contribute as far as their thoughts and their vision and what they visualized.
yeah,
Um, so it might be the same kind of a process, just
yeah,
kind of getting closer to the event itself, using that logo and figuring out what subtopic will be a good fit.
yeah. And some people who was involved in this series were actually, they've been on it before. Like Angela's been on it once beforehand doing
Mm,
this. I think it probably late last year her episode was released. Um,
yes.
and and yeah, some other people like have been on it too. Just pointing people out. Kimberly would have been on it before. Um, Kieran Pierce would have been on it before. Um, Will would have been on it before. Will was on the autism series, um, and he was also on the reunion episodes for the
Mhm.
autism series. So he's been on a fair few. Um, so's Connell, Kieran Pierce. That's probably his second time on the show. Chloe, it would have been her second time, because in the middle of that, like, recording for a series to go out in August. So we had her on for that beforehand, and then a week later asked her to come on and have Awakening, because she was passionate about mental health. So yeah, a fair few people, but a lot of people that haven't been on it before. So not just my podcast, any. So like, it was their first podcast. So for many of the people that did came on, and I thought it was pretty cool that they did
Yeah.
that. Because they enjoyed it. They all looked forward to it when we had that meeting, didn't they, before?
Yeah, that's right. There was a lot of excitement from the people who had never been on a podcast before. Maybe they have been on Facebook or Instagram Live or Clubhouse or some other medias or things like that, but they were very excited to contribute and just be a part. It was a great experience. I got a little bit of feedback. Some people said they didn't know what to expect. Maybe they would have done things differently. And my reply is there will always be another opportunity.
Yeah.
I think everyone did great. It was very relaxed. Um, we you and I have done lives before on Instagram, and like you said, I was on your podcast once before, so we do lots of laughing, very relaxed. So I think we did a great job at making everyone feel comfortable, whether they have experienced a podcast before or not. I mean, when we got feedback from the presenters, that was the one thing that seemed to be the common theme, was that Angela and Mason made me feel so comfortable. It was really relaxed. It was better than I expected. So that was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, because I suppose each guest is different. Like I know what it's like to be a guest as well, because I've been on guest a fair few times to other shows and podcasts and stuff. People invite me onto lives as well, so, which I kind of prefer the podcast and live in a way, because it's it's like, although people will watch you in the end, but not like actually live. Well, some podcasts are, but I like to do it the way I do it, because not everyone's watching me at the precise moment.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So I used to try to do pre-recorded videos and then show those or post them, or have the program where you can show a pre-recorded video live. But I started getting used to just hopping on, going live right there in the moment. I like it. I miss Instagram. So I'm interested to um, be featured or be invited for different podcasts more. I have been a guest for a couple, including yours, as it relates to Crohn's and colitis awareness. This is my first time hosting. So that was very exciting for me as well. So even though I've been a guest, it's been awesome to have the experience to host.
Yeah. Yes. Like, it can be more difficult if you have more than one person. uh, but I think it's fine. Um, I couldn't. Well, it would be harder if we had an extra person, wouldn't it? Like a
Maybe.
third person, maybe because of the time zones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think a few times we had to maybe we thought we arranged something and we didn't, and stuff like that happened, didn't it?
Yes, it did. We even had, excuse me, we even had, I mean, there was always mix-ups regarding the time zones. And a couple of times we did have three different time zones
Yeah.
where, let's see, you're on one, I'm on another, and then the guest was on a different time zone. So we had a couple where even the guest didn't know what time they were supposed to be. They didn't know what time zone they were on. But it definitely interesting. But I will say this, you mentioned earlier about the different ages, even between us. So I feel like it balanced it out, because there were some guests that you have closer relationships with that were new to me. And there were some guests that were closer to me that you built new relationships with. So hosting together, we kind of supported one another and balanced things out, because maybe there was something that you knew more about, as far as the way that Kimberly advocates and presents on her podcast and her social media, where you could pull from the details that you knew, and then vice versa with the ones that I'm connected to in the US. So it worked out very well.
Yeah, when we had Kim on for that episode, and because I helped her a little bit with her podcast, like starting it and stuff, because she came on mine, and then had the idea of creating her own one, which a fair few people have done. Not just Kimberly, a couple of people. But yeah, like Kieran Pierce, for example, he has his own. Well, I think it's stopped at the moment. I had made like a Multi-School Council podcast as well. And Connell has his own one too, about mental health. So a lot of people who are involved were passionate about it, and linked in what they want to do. If it's about chronic illness, just general mental health, it doesn't, like, there's so much involved with every person's stories about mental health.
So, there was lots of vulnerability throughout the series where, like you said, we had a lot of podcasters, and some of them, serve dual purposes. Maybe they're advocates, maybe they're, work with the school systems or groups or things like that. And we had, Dr. Dangerfield, who is also a licensed professional counselor. We, again, Demetria, licensed professional counselor. Maisha, she's a life coach, a certified life coach. Shay, certified life coach, with other credentials. Again, Maisha is also in the mental health field. She has at least 20 years as an advocate, as a coach, coordinating resources and things of that nature in the social field. So there definitely is a variety.
Yeah, it was good because every episode was different. We might have some similarities in different episodes that we said before, but it was still good to bring it up.
And I want to say that we had 2 episodes where the topics included trauma, but they still were different. I want to say that was Chloe and Shay. They
different ages, I think, wasn't it? And different countries. And different country.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It could be same topic, different experience, different perspective,
Yeah. They both had the word trauma in it, but the titles were different, and stuff. Like, we asked them both to pick their titles, so we didn't pick them for them.
That's right.
So I could have tried them and picked my own one, but I think it's better when the guests. I've never done it before. I would normally pick the titles, like on a series, and I've done that ever since. Even the autism series, I picked the title myself. But for this series was the first time where the guests would be picking.
I think that's a good idea.
Except from probably the first episode, this episode, and the final showdown episode is where we kind of pick them. But the rest, for the guest only episodes, I don't know, did the dancing trucker pick his or did we pick his?
Well, he picked his. I will say this, his topic is basically his brand theme.
Dancing with Smiles.
Dancing for Smiles. That's everywhere you see his name, that basically says what he represents.
Yeah.
And, the impact that he has on his followers is that he has followers from all across the globe, and they are in different situations. He gets a lot of reviews about, he gets a lot of reviews from people with depression that, they smiled because they saw him dancing on the street corner, or they smiled because someone sent them a video. He has even received reviews from people who have had, who are cancer patients or who were having suicidal ideations, and he gave them hope in that moment, And so, like I said, he's definitely making a great impact, a great impression on people everywhere.
Yeah.
So we didn't pick it, and I think he just went with, as I said before, the theme of his brand, Dancing for Smiles. So that's what he's known for.
He did say in his episode, I think, that he helped a Ukrainian person as well. So I thought that was good.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I think it's good. Like what everyone's been doing and does within episodes, if it's dancing, if it's singing, if it's just speaking.
Mhm. Mhm.
There's all these different things that people are helping and stuff. And then they come on, talk to us, talk to me, talk to you about whatever they want. Because like it's their choice. Like you like it's like anything. Like when I ask people, they ask me sometimes. They ask to come on. I think it's pretty cool. Like people and stuff. Oh yeah, the Darnish, him, he came on the podcast as well before. So I forgot to mention it. He was another
Mhm.
one that came on. He come on actually. I think at the beginning of the year, I believe. Yeah, it was some point this year, and we did speak about mental health too. Um, not just in this series. There's lots of what. It's a reason why I wanted to do this series, because even generally speaking about different people, maybe about autism, maybe about Crohn's, chronic illnesses. Mental health always brings up. It's always there. I don't always mention it. It's always there. So someone brings it up.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so I that's why I thought to put that on my my logo and make a series out of it as well.
Yeah.
Um, which I think we called it a limited edition series, didn't we? Um,
Limited edition. That's
um,
right.
yeah, and originally that means it's only one series, but in this case it just means one series a year, maybe of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the reboot, right? We can
Yeah.
revamp that kind of thing. And we've talked about having guests that I didn't know, guests that you didn't know, but what was so great about our conversations with Connell and Donish is that we can consider them mutual friends. Those are two guys that we both knew already, right? Kind of in the same group or population. So with Connell, we all have talked about mental health before. So we knew each other from
How did
connect.
you know Connell?
Well, I was on his podcast before. So we connected maybe a year out. He probably saw me on yours.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
So, but it still feels like we became friends and built a relationship at least over 9 months to a year's time. So
Yeah,
we knew each other before we came on this series, and I feel like that was kind of the mutual connection.
yeah,
And also with Donish, we're all in the Crohn's connection, kind of the IBD pact. And
yeah. He asked me last year the reason how I know him. What he sent me a message and he asked me if to come on a live with him. And that's how I know him.
mhm,
Um,
yeah,
I think about twice I've been on a live with him. And then I asked him to come on, which we had to keep rearranging at the time because of Crohn's and everything.
mhm,
But yeah, those are the two mutuals, and the rest it was just one or the other knew
yep,
more. But I think that's a good idea for the next time. Is maybe we get more the way we both don't know, maybe,
mhm,
because we all know someone one way or another, didn't we? At this time, I think
yeah,
it was a good way to start, wasn't it? Because at least we knew one each. But yeah, it'd be nice maybe next time. Prepare maybe the later part of this year, maybe get some big names. I say big names like Dar Man, Jay Shetty, but the months in advance for a particular date next May
mhm, mhm.
or before next May even. I don't know. It might be good to do it in May if that is Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's been an awesome experience.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like is there anything else that we should say? You think?
Well, let's see. Go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, more information, and what to look out for next.
Well, for everyone, I hope I hope you've enjoyed the series. Like most days of the month, let's say. I think the odd weekend odd weekend or two, there might not have been any episodes.
Mhm.
Mostly in the weekdays. But from here, we go back to series 5. Had a quite a long break for that, so we didn't do that. I think that might have been March the last time we did something. We had series 5 of the podcast, and we are going from series. So for anyone who doesn't know, I might not have said this on the podcast, but what we're doing is per series we're doing like 100 episodes now, because I feel like that works maybe over a couple probably years with these mini series and specials in between. So from now, that will resume from June to all the way to July, and then there's going to be there will be a mid-season break, and that will most likely resume probably next year, series 5, and then we go on from August to summer specials. So we got really good summer specials in August and September, but September summer specials are going to be completely different to August. But I'm not going to say anything yet about that. I'm going to everyone's surprised like everyone was about the mental health series.
Absolutely.
Yeah, then after that, I'm not sure that part of the year. There might be an odd few episodes. I know it's Crohn's and colitis week, 1st December, so something's happening for that week too. But yeah, other things will happen after that, but I'm not sure what. There'll be Halloween episode, an episode in November, but not as much. There are other series that will be planned for. But yeah, like we'll say we'll hopefully be back next year for this again, Angela.
Hope to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to say?
Well, I want to say that right now, I can be, you can connect with me on Facebook. I will be recreating an Instagram page. Not really in a hurry. I think I'll prepare some content, but I can be found on Facebook at Jackson Impact. I'm also on Twitter at Jackson Impact. And I honestly, I don't have any projects coming up locally. I'm just building my practice. Got some spaces available. If anyone is in Tennessee, I see clients virtually through telehealth services. Go to my website at www.thejacksonimpact.com to request a free consultation. So I'm just working, building the practice. I'm excited about that because my brand launched during the month of May 2 years ago. So the Jackson Impact was birthed during the month of May. So that's also why it's so exciting to have something to celebrate and to kind of scale back and look at the history. And it has grown from just a brand now into a business entity. So I always plan something here and there throughout the awareness months that we talked about before in that reunion episode. But really, I'm just taking my time building, creating a schedule that I can enjoy, learning, going to different trainings, and then, of course, planning for next May.
Yeah. Always planning
So,
ahead.
yeah,
That's what I do. I always like to plan ahead of things. It's much easier. Like at this minute in time, got episodes going up to kind of start of August at the moment. So so yeah, I plan ahead too. So
yeah.
it's the best way to be. So you have to feel so rushed. Yeah. So to everyone, I hope you learned something today and any other episodes of Mental Health Awakening Confidential, where me and Angela were just speaking about what we thought of the series, the ins and outs of it, how it's created a little bit. And yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed it. This probably is not the end of Mental Health Awakening, but it's for now. Well, I say goodbye for now, but hopefully we'll be back with another series of this next May. But for now, we'll see you soon whenever the next episode is. And yeah, from me and Angela, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.